Good evening, everybody. The Tzaddik Rav Nachman has many beautiful Torahs about Rosh Hashanah. But one that he speaks of the importance of gathering together as a group for Rosh Hashanah. The kibbutz. This is the reason behind why all the Breslovers lovers like to go to Uman for Rosh Hashanah. It's not just about going to Uman. It's not just about being by the Rebbe. It's not just being by a great Rebbe. It's an idea of being together. It's an idea of a kibbutz. And for my growing up, and he's ein distinct term and a term called a kibbutz, this is not what they mean by that. But perhaps there's a spark of truth in both of them. The kibbutz is, it's very, very important as a theme of Rosh Hashanah to come together. For different people to be together. To gather together. And there's a very profound thing that happens when people gather together. There's a collection of consciousness, a kibbutz of consciousness. Rav Nachman says, when people come together for Rosh Hashanah, not in a chitzonius or an external way, we happen to all go to the same shul, it's the only shul on the block. But b'ratzon, with will. They come together as you've all come together tonight, not necessarily to be together as individuals. Many of you don't know each other yet. But we've come together with a common purpose, a common goal, and it can be quite varied in this room, who's here for what. Frankly, I'm just here to listen to the music. These guys are wonderful. But in our heart of hearts, in the depth of our being, we're here because we know something awesome is about to happen. And we all want to up the ante a little in our own connection. We probably spent enough years mumbling through the words of the art scroll. Baruch Hashem, we have an art scroll that we can mumble through it. Some of us may feel they're just more mindlessly doing that. Some people feel they deeply want to understand what they're saying, and it's often a little too late to try and work out what it's about on the day when it's happening. Some people, Baruch Hashem, read Hebrew. They even sometimes know what it means. But still, these are just words on a page. And we can feel an almost level of anxiety on holy days, to the degree that you know that you know something big's going on, and you know something awesome is happening, and you're platzing. It's not a very psychological term, but I know what it means, to connect, and you feel that you don't have the kalim. You don't have the vessels, you don't quite know what the words mean, and your mind is tired, and you're hungry, and you're frustrated, and you don't know where to go. That the problem is we're lacking the skill set to understand koichet hanefesh. But more than the skill set, more than the understanding, we have something right now which is already a great, tremendous, beautiful milah, which is the kibbutz, the gathering, the people gathered together. Rav Nachman says something very beautiful. He says the essence of Rosh Hashanah is tikkun emunah, is to work on emunah. Emunah doesn't mean faith or belief. If you watch the Elevation Foundation series online, you've heard me say this 1,000 times by now. Emunah is a consciousness of awareness that you don't just know intellectually, but you directly experience and feel that everything is one, that everything is good, that everything is emanating instantly in that moment from an infinite source, and I am directly bound to that, and nothing is separate from that. And the essence of Rosh Hashanah is Emunah. The essence of Rosh Hashanah is to arrive at a state of consciousness whereby you see that Ein Od Milvadoi, that you see Hashem Levadoi, oh, there's only Hashem, where you see Hakol Echad. And that's the mystics, we have On this great day of Rosh Hashanah, am I going to read in the book of life and the book of death? And if you're a 10-year-old, or basically anyone alive in 2018, we still think this is, am I going to live or die in this year? Is that a Leonard Cohen song? How are we going to get one? And I'm praying not to die, and that is absolutely not what it meant. It is a very low level to be praying on Rosh Hashanah not to physically die. The depth of Rosh Hashanah is to realize that a person can be, as Chazal say explicitly, physically alive but living like they're dead. And our sages say that a person could even be technically dead but still very much in their consciousness alive. And the essence of Rosh Hashanah is to realize that so much of what we do, even our search for spirituality sometimes, is also living in death. And the Sefer Chaim, and the Sefer Mavas, the book of life or death, is the choice of, do I want to be living connected to the ultimate life, living with ultimate purpose, aligning myself with my ultimate soul, my ultimate good, my ultimate destiny, and living that way across the board, not just when I'm being religious, doing religious things, but in every dimension of my life, when I eat, when I drink, when I sleep, when I work, when I have intimacy, in every dimension of my life. I have a choice between life and death. And the book of life and the book of death, say the mystics, is our heart. Is our heart. That we write in our own hearts on this day, am I choosing connect to ultimate life, to chiyas, v'etem ha'devekim, b'shem Elokeichem, chayim kulachem hayom. When I'm living connected to Hashem in every moment, I am alive. And when I physically have a pulse, but I don't see the good and I don't see the value, and I'm chasing my lust and I'm chasing my fear and I'm chasing my ego. It doesn't matter if you have a pulse. It doesn't matter if the EEG machine is binging or whatever it does. We are dead. And the question, the challenge of Rosh Hashanah is, you want life, you want death? And we all know what the answer is. It's l'chaim. L'chaim. But then there's the humbling moment. If you want life, why do we so often choose disconnection and death? Where do you so often choose disconnection and death? I didn't hear that answer. I may be better off not knowing. Didn't realize it was introductory class, but I'm open to any... What did somebody say? What's that? When you've reached your destination. Someone left their Waze on before the class. You should turn off your cell phone. The definition of Emunah is life. Because if any given moment when you were choosing death, you woke up and saw the truth, then you would fall from death into life. And when you do that, you're ready to do that, you commit to do that in Rosh Hashanah, you are alive. And when you are alive on the first day of the year, the first moment of the year, then Hashem will rush you with a tremendous influx, a tremendous abundance, tremendous moichen, bracha, shefa, that will guide you. Hakol halech acha harash. Everything goes after the beginning, after the intent, after the Rosh Hashanah, the first point. This is Binyan Malchus. Today we are building ourselves. We build our consciousness on Rosh Hashanah for the whole year. We build our consciousness, our das on Rosh Hashanah for the whole year. And Hashem says, you tell me what you want your das to be, and I will create that for you, one. And based on what you say, midah keneged midah, I will flood you a year with that. And you've got to say life, you've got to say chaim. And how do you say chaim? It's not just a choice. People think it's like a multiple choice. You go into Rosh Hashanah, would you like life, death? I'll choose life for 20 points, please, right? And then, oh, you got it, mazel tov. Here's the car and the holiday. Have a nice year. The secret is you live your life for 24 hours or for 48 hours like that is an absolute reality. It's not about saying the words in the prayer. It's not about being in shul versus being home. It's you are committing to 24 hours. If you can handle it, 10 days. You can handle it all the way through Sukkot. If you've got that far, go the next year. Go all the way. But start with 48 hours. If you can't, start with the first day. That's the hardest day. It's the biggest judgment. that I live, I don't get angry, because why would I get angry? Because everything's Hashem and everything's good. But Rosh Hashanah didn't not go how I expected to go. How many times you made great plans for Rosh Hashanah and they did not go how you expected it to go? That's exactly the test. So you're saying, Hashem, Rosh Hashanah is Malchus, I'm giving everything up to you, except I'm really angry, I didn't get the seat that I wanted in Shul. You know how much I paid for that? So Hashem's like, you want to show me you're giving everything up to me, you want to show me you want life at every moment? Now's the day, do it now. No, I mean, I'm going to start this after Rosh Hashanah. Now I'm going to tell you what I want, spend a few days to regroup, and then eventually later I'll get my act together. Hashem's not as stupid as he looks. You are entering into a consciousness of Emunah. That is the entire day. You are building your consciousness because the whole year will go after your consciousness on that day. And I promise you, all your biggest issues will be triggered on this day. That's the game. That's the game. If you haven't seen that in El, which is part of the game, and you haven't seen that in Rosh Hashanah, you will see that during the Sefer Yom but that's the game. So you read it Tzarech Aliyah. You read it Tzarech Aliyah. You have to be triggered to work through your things, to junk, pain, baggage, clippers, chetzonius and midas. You have to be triggered so it comes up so you can turn it back to Hashem. So you can say this is also Hashem, Hakol Echad. So you can say Hashem Levadai. So you can choose life. Life is Emunah. You are alive when you're connected to the light, to the energy of the university. The university. You are alive when you're connected to Hashem in all things. Dveikus is life. You are alive when you're a stand of Emunah, when you see and notice that not just in your head, but in your heart, that it's all connected. When you see everything is one, Hakol Echad, you're alive. When you see Ein Od Milvado, Hashem Levadai, you're alive. That's why it's a Dava Pashat, that Chaim is Gematria 68, the same Gematria as Hakol Echad. Everything is one. The same Gematria as Hashem Levadai. There's only Hashem. All Gematria is 68. That is life. That is Emunah. That is Rosh Hashanah. And Rav Nachman says, when we come together, a kibbutz, which is what this is tonight, he says something very, very, very beautiful, very, very profound. He says, we don't just gather ourselves in bodies, we gather ourselves in Emunah. There's an Emunah that each of us has, that each of us doesn't have. There's a revelation of Hashem that you have the potential for, that everyone next to you doesn't. And there's a relationship that they have that you don't. So when we come together, not just accidentally, incidentally, but beratzon, because we want to be together, and we want to connect to the group, and we want to learn together, we want to grow together, we want to open up a bit. Jewish meditation, who does that? We do that, and we seek for that. We understand that. We understand that it's not about meditation, it's about the sense of infinite connection. And if I can get that my Rosh Hashanah, I can get that my Yin. I want that. If I can come together as a group of people in Yerushalayim a few days before, we've got so many busy holidays coming up. What do you need? Another shift or another class for? You can sit at home. Everything is available in any time on YouTube, etc., etc. But we still come. We still want it. We come together and we learn and we struggle and we try these hard things. Because there's a ratzon for more, and there's an emunah that the more is possible. And when we come together, says Rav Nachman, we share and intermingle our emunah, and we empower each other with our emunah, and we have a greater unified consciousness than we ever had as individuals. So our job tonight, really your job, I'm just here for the music, as I said. Is I really, Lamaisa, want to teach you 3 avodas. 3 and a few more core techniques that you can use on the day. When you're stuck in prayer, sometimes you go to Shalom Rosh Hashanah, just the heavens open up and you're connected. Hands up if you've had that before. Hands up if you've had that before, fine. Sometimes you go to Shalom Rosh Hashanah and nothing opens up for the whole day and you're just like depressed. Hands up if you've had that before. Fine. So what you have to know is there are things you can do. When I lift myself up to Hashem, then Hashem can respond in response to master our own minds, to master our own mental soul capacity, that we can choose to go there ourselves. And then, with Hashem's great rahmanas and kindness, then He can take us much higher even than what we can create ourselves. But we can begin to learn to open up our minds, open up our hearts. And I want to teach you a base level tonight of a few techniques, a few avodas that you can do to tune your mind in, to tune your heart in, to connect to yourself deeper, to connect to the room deeper, to connect to the words, to connect to the great tzaddikim that can open us up alive, and the ascended masters. And I want to give you skill sets, tool sets. This is what we do with the Elevation Project. Our project, if you haven't heard about it, you can check out elevationproject.com online. Is Torah sources, Chassidus, Kabbalah, Musa, Chazal, are full of incredible understandings of consciousness and tools of consciousness. And it's such a pity. We run to the four corners of the world because we didn't know how beautiful our own tradition was. So tonight, I just want to give you a few tools, a little access. And I want to give you a beautiful experience because we're going to do a mock, they do a mock Pesach Seder in school, so we're going to do a mock Rosh Hashanah tonight, okay? We're going to spend 48 hours tonight reading the entire Seder from beginning to end. Rabbi Poston warned you it's going to be longer than you think and more painful than you think. We're going to have 6 meals. I want to take you through 3 key themes and 3 key avodas. The avodah of Alenu Shabayach, when in the Musaf, the holy Musaf of Rosh Hashanah, we get to Malchus, the day of Malchus, of declaring Hashem as king. If you don't like the word king, if it doesn't resonate with you in your 21st century New Age sensitivity, spiritual seeker nature, king means that there's nothing else but Hashem. It means He's the ultimate, highest source of energy and consciousness. It means everything is a direct extension of that consciousness. It means nothing happens except it's coming with will from that consciousness. And everything, therefore, is from ultimate good and for ultimate good. Not just to say it, but to mean it, to know it, and to see reality like that's an obvious truth. That's what we're chasing. That's Malchus. But the avodah of Rosh Hashanah is not just to say that for yourself. That's where we say on Rosh Hashanah, Aleinu l'shabeach l'don hakol, in the middle of the Musaf. We read the words that we read 3 times a day, if we pray 3 times a day. And the prayer of Aleinu l'shabeach is a very, very powerful prayer. In the second parak, we say, not just that I want to grow it, I want a better year, I want abundance, I want peace, I want love, I want marriage, I want kids, I want healthy kids, healthy marriage, healthy spirituality, I want. Number 1 of Rosh Hashanah is the Rosh of the year. Rosh of the year means it's the beginning, it's the head. The development of the days of the year is Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. That's not just like, Chazal made a mistake. They were planning out the year, they forgot where to put these 3, and they just crammed them all into 2 weeks. Surprisingly, that's not the truth. These are all one festival. They are all one Chag. Rosh Hashanah says, we're about to say, we begin with a vision. Who are you? And what is your ultimate life vision? What are you living for and breathing for? Yom Kippur is, if you have that vision, in case you haven't noticed, you have a ton of baggage you've collected, a ton of self-sabotaging midat, klipat. And if you want to live according to that vision, Hashem says, I know you're carrying a lot of stuff, and I will cleanse your heart if you release it, so you can live with chiyas, with energy, with life, with a pure and open heart, in order to succeed and run out and achieve your vision. Finally, Sukkot is 6, 7, 8 days of living with that vision reality into the Sukkah, the 6 directions, manifesting and revealing that vision into the world. We take everything into the Sukkah. The Sukkah is Emunah, living. We eat in the Sukkah. Some say intimacy in the Sukkah. We don't have furniture, all that things in the Sukkah, because now we're living within that consciousness, surrounded by that consciousness. So Rosh Hashanah is the vision, and the vision is not just about you, surprise. The vision is about, if you were perfected and you were healed and you were developed, what are you doing in the world, and what are we collectively doing in the world? What's our goal as a people? Aleinu l'shabech l'dan ha'gol. L'seis gedul yetzer bereshus. We are different and unique. We are the conductors. Every nation of the world has a contribution. Every nation of the world has a contribution. They're all playing an instrument. They're all playing glorious instruments. But as ours, it's supposed to Yisrael, Shir Kel, the song of God. Our name is the song of God. We're supposed to give the music. These are the values. These are the beliefs. This is how it all comes together. This is Hakol HaChai. This is true Chai. If they're not following the Torah, if they're not following the light, if they're not following the truth, it's Aleinu l'shabech l'dan ha'kol. It's upon us to teach to them, to be an oligam, the whole of the world, not just people, trees, animals, birds, doimim, sameach, chai, medabas, we'll see tonight. And we say these words, V'chol b'nei basa yikru b'shmecha. Every human flesh, every individual will call in Hashem's divine name. L'afnoit alecha kol lushei ha'aretz. Right, but to turn towards you, every individual, no matter how far they've fallen, no matter how destructive force, it should all turn back to them. Yakiru v'yidu'u kol yoshvei sevel. Everyone will have a kara, recognition, das, intimate consciousness and knowledge that for you the world was created. And we are supposed to, on Rosh Hashanah, envision the ultimate purpose of the world. We're supposed to get out of our own little junk for 5 minutes. And pitch Hashem our commitment to a greater world, a better place, more moral, more ethical, more true, more spiritual, more elevated, more elevated. Not just humans, also humans, all of consciousness, all of matter. And we say that. V'yeda kol po'el ki ata fa'alte v'yamin kol yad. V'hol pasik v'yamin kol... I blanked. Finish for me. Kol yatzir ki ata yitzata. V'yoma kol asher neshama ba'abai. Pa'alta means a seer, a physical element in the world. Yitzira means ruach within us, but it means even the plant life, even the animal life, all the world of Yitzira. The third level is neshama, which can mean Klal Yisrael, but in this sense it means every human being. The goal of Rosh Hashanah is that all of consciousness and all of reality, and human beings are not the only ones with consciousness and reality. It should all return back to Hashem. What we're going to learn tonight, in the name of the Heilige Command, is a beautiful meditation. Last year we did a little. Tonight I'll take it a step further. That what you do with your consciousness in Rosh Hashanah can connect to every aspect in the physical creation, connect it to its source, and draw it back up. That's what we're doing. That's the business we're in. Hakol echad. Not us, but not the goyim. Not us, but not the trees. Not us, but not the moon. Not us, but not the rocks. Not us, the good guys, but not the bad guys. Our job is to use our consciousness to turn all back to one. To connect everything back to its shorish, everything back to the source, everything back to the Rosh. So I'm going to talk a little about Aleinu l'shabech, and then we're going to talk a little about the Shofar. I want to do an avoda with you. We have the holy Eli who lit us up, who blew us up with the koich of Shofar last year. It's here, Baruch Hashem, tonight to help us again. We're going to blow a Shofar tonight. It's very, very interesting. We're a week before Rosh Hashanah, less than a week, Erev Chag. The power of being something just before, the mystics say, has the power of having the properties of that which is coming. That's why during Elul is Erev Rosh Hashanah. All of Elul has that power. That's why Elul, we blow the shofar every morning. It's very deep. We say slichas, Yugimul Midas Rachamim. All the things that are coming up during a Seish Yemei Tshuva, the energy, the spiritual energy, spiritual influx that comes in during that time of Tishrei is already coming in now. And the reason of that is a mystical secret called Erev. We know that there's a thing called Erev Shabbos. So I don't know if you know, but there are many mystics that they would hold back from halacha even close to Shabbos. There's a halacha that we're supposed to devise, that we're supposed to extend Shabbos a little early, because the time period just before the major event, there's already an influx of energy into the pre-period, if you will. That's why we can already blow the shofar. We can already experience the good Yud Midas Rachamim. This is the secret of Erev. What does it mean, Erev Shabbos? So Erev usually means the time before, or the evening before, or the moment before. But the word Erev has other terms, right? Like we have an Erev around Yerushalayim, or an Erev around a community. So the concept of an Erev is the concept of things being bound together. Because when we put an Erev around something, it means that things are intermingled and joined together. When there's an Erev around the community, that means that community is now intermingled and seen and considered one. So there's a lot of powers of Shabbos, the energy of Shabbos, the consciousness of Shabbos that comes in before Shabbos. So it's very interesting. If you take the word Elul, and you write out the milui of the word Elul, that means you have Aleph. So the first letter of Elul is Aleph, but Aleph you actually write out Aleph, Lamed, Pei. Fei, Aleph, you hear that? Lamed, the second letter, Elul, Lamed, but it's Lamed Mem Dalet. If you write out the full letters, the milui means the deeper expression. It's like the hidden soul within the thing. The full milui of the word Elul is 272, the same gematria as Erev. Because all of Elul is mixed and combined with the spiritual properties of Rosh Hashanah. So, more than just being a mock Rosh Hashanah, what we're going to do tonight when we blow the shofar, I want you to know, because there's halakha to blow the shofar during Elul, because that energy is already coming in. I want you to know it's amazing, as we saw last year, and we'll see even more powerfully this year, that what happens when the shofar blows is a little bit of the energy. It's a little bit of that mitzvah. This is not a mock anything. Game on. This is the real time thing. The core of the shofar is tshuva. The core of the shofar is tshuva. Again, the reason I'm talking about this, I'm not interested in telling you Torah tonight. I want to teach you Torah tonight. This is a secret, what I'm doing right now. Here's the secret. If you load people's consciousness up and their super consciousness, not just your das, but your das elyon with Torah and ideas and associations, and then you knock them into Devekas, from that place of Devekas, all those ideas will be spinning around in your neshama, and they'll start to flash into you deeper insights and deeper revelations. What I'm doing for you now is I'm giving a kind of a Torah where I'm spinning and associating lots of ideas. And I'm not doing this to just teach Torah, because when you begin the meditation, you do it, you'll see that these ideas begin to catalyze and become real for you. This is the deeper secret of what Nachman means, that through Torah we come to tefillah. Because tefillah is just, Hashem, can I have a bunch of stuff? That's not what he's referring to. He's referring to what he considers hasagas. When you go into a deep state and your mind gets hit by profound idea and profound revelation and profound breakthroughs. If you haven't put that together, when you learn ideas and when you learn deeply, you connect to it deeply, and you build associations and you understand how it comes together, and then immediately you go into the Vegas, and then immediately begin to pray, then you see it starts catalyzing and hitting you, and then you open up to something more. So what we're doing is we're putting these Torah, these teachings, these free associating ideas into your head, into your soul, and you're hearing them in your mind, and maybe it's interesting, maybe it's not. Maybe you fell asleep 10 minutes ago, you're waiting for more wine or something, whatever floats your proverbial boat, right? But you'll see that just by being out there, when we go into their state, these things begin to open up, they begin to interconnect, and they become a ladder which you can climb to higher revelation. So there's a method to the madness that the Tzaddikim used. A holy madness. Shtus de Kedusha. It's the Chabad Tzaddikim call it. Shofar The essence of shofar is tshuva. Our sages define the essence of shofar as, tremendous fear. There's not a city that has a shofar blowing in it and people don't shake. Because there's an awe to it. And many tzaddikim, even of Chaim Volozhiner, the main Talmud of Vilna Gaon, says the shofar is a sound of tremendous simcha, tremendous joy. Well, which is it fear, is it joy? Is it shaking and trembling? Is it ecstatic joy and ecstasy? The answer is, of course, both. The shaking in fear is because when that sound goes, it creates such an awe that you begin to address and feel the stuckness of all the things that we carry that disconnect us from our soul and our truth. And the simcha is the joy of returning to oneself. And the more one trembles, the more one disassociates in a positive way, disconnects and releases. Then the simcha of the revelation, of remembrance of self, of returning to self. Tshuva, of course, doesn't mean repentance. Ultimately, it means tshuva, and tshuva ila'a, the higher ultimate return to myself, to my source. You can learn, as you will practice tonight, when the sound of the shofar goes off, you trace it back, you follow it back. You go from the expansion of the end of the shofar into the eternal smallest point, the dot of the shofar begins, and there you find the kol d'mamadaka, the still small voice of your infinite soul. Through the sound of the shofar, the stillness, the single tone, you get rid of the noise of your mind, of your rationalization, your justification, your mistakes, your guilt from this life and every life, and all the baggage that we hold, and we say, who am I really? What do I want really? And that's called a single voice, the kol poshet. It's simple because our true soul, our true essence is simple. It's simple knowledge, it's simple good, it's simple peace, it's infinite simple connection. It's poshet. It's poshet. Emunah is poshet. And if you're willing to let it all go when the shofar sounds and trace that noise back to its source, that kol poshet, then there is a great revelation waiting for you. That simcha is the famous story that the Kedushas Levi tells from the Maggid of Mezrich. The marshal, the parable about the king. You've heard this one? And the king has a son. I'm sure you've heard this one before. And the son makes a mistake, does an avera, and the king is furious, and there's a punishment. The king sends the son away, and the son is devastated, and he's ashamed. And they send him away to the furthest city in the kingdom. And the boy is there, and he doesn't know where his tati is. He doesn't know how he got there, but he realizes he's in exile. And he learns to speak Parnasa, and he learns the language, and he eventually gets rid of his princely clothes and learns to adapt and starts dressing like them and talking like them. And until 10, 20, 30, 40 years later, he doesn't even remember he's a prince. He doesn't remember that his tati, his father, is the king. And one day, there's a big announcement that the king is coming to town, and everyone's ecstatic. The king is coming to town. The king is coming to town. This young man, now a middle-aged man, is so excited. The king is coming to town. Nebuch, poor kid, doesn't know his king is the tati. He's forgot his king is the tati. And as the king walks through the streets, and they're all pushed back onto the pavement, and the king starts walking through it, everyone sees, and there's 1,000 screams and 1,000 yells. And then all of a sudden the king comes around this corner, and there this man looks up and he sees the king, and he has that moment, a flash of 1,000,000 flashes of lightning. That's not the king. That's my tati. But he can't say that. He's so speechless. He's so shocked that he looks up, and in that moment of revelation, all that comes out of him is in the middle of the parade, in the middle of the band, the Kedushas Levi tells us the king stops on his spot. The king tells everyone to be quiet, and they say, what, who made that yell? Someone in the crowd, the king says, I know that voice. That's the voice of my son. If the son will walk up to the king speaking a foreign language or a foreign look, that's just blah, 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 that's blah, 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 that's nothing but the kol pashat, the inner voice is the voice of the soul. Remember what your inner voice is? The kol pashat before it's broken down into deeper, the hema ta'atapeh. It's your soul, your breath is your soul. Neshima, the breath, neshama is your soul. Where did your soul come from? Hashem blew that into you. The Zohar says when Hashem blows it into you, blows it in from His essence, from His soul into your soul. Don't you understand that image of Hashem blowing into your soul? You are Hashem's shofar. He's blowing through you to let His voice into the world. But you forgot your own voice and words and actions and deeds and mistakes and falling in confusion, the bilbulim of Olam Hazeh. But when you express that thing within you, which is undefinable, which is abstract, which is core, which is primal, it's your primal, essential, divine voice, then it all comes out. Then everything else is blown away. Then the walls fall down. This is a true story. Our first son, our first baby, in the hospital. I don't know why they do this. It's mamash sa'ab alechayim. Why do they put babies in rooms of screaming babies right after the baby is born? Forget about sa'ab alechayim for the baby, for the parents. You know that feeling when mothers are out on some kind of high of a drug or high of body chemicals, and the tati has to go to the room and then leave the baby there, and he's stepping out of the room. It's like, what if they just forget which baby it is? And I don't want to leave my kid here. What is me crying all night? I remember it was the second day we walked into the hospital. We walked into that room, that lab, whatever they call it, and then moved my son around. I walked over, wasn't there, and my wife literally walked up and said, he's over there. I said, how do you know? What did she say? I can hear him crying. I know his voice. And still to this day I'm bewildered after 24 hours. The mummy knows the voice, the Shekhinah knows your voice, the Shekhinah knows your soul. Because your voice is the Shekhinah's voice, it is the Shekhinah's soul. Your ultimate voice is Hashem's light, is Hashem's soul. Takes one to know one. But if you build a conversation, a dialogue at the beginning of the year, hi, I'm a rabbi, hi, I'm a teacher, hi, I'm a mother, hi, I've got these problems, I'm a therapy for this, I've got these challenges, I'm overwhelmed by this, please fix this. Hashem's like, you're just speaking chitzonius to me. We're just schmoozing now. Do you want to talk tachlis? Go deeper. And this finding your own voice, finding your own soul. This is a rebirthing process because you're forgetting all the stuff you built in, you're going back. That's why the word shofar itself. In modern Hebrew, mei shafir, the amniotic fluids are called mei shafir. It's a very interesting thing because you rebirth. That's why Shifra, who was Shifra in Torah? What did Shifra do? What did Yocheved do? She was a what do you call them in English?
Midwife.
A midwife. What does a midwife do? It births the inner potential out into reality. A shofar gives expression to the inner potential out to reality. That's why Shapir itself means beautiful. It means beautiful. True beauty is when the inner world shines out and is revealed. True beauty is when the inner world shines out and revealed. That is Rosh Hashanah, our commitment. That is Emunah. That is a kol echad. Don't see the chitzonius. Don't see the acha ba'acha. See the panim ba'panim, the inner world connected. The inner light connected. So shofar is about finding your shorish neshama, re-accessing that, the essence of who you are. There's people that like to spend their day complaining about details, complaining about problems, complaining about money, complaining about stuff. Listen, you should get that in as well, let me tell you. You should know, according to the strictest teachings of Kabbalah, the first day you should be focused about your inner spiritual reality, that's the panemius, and the second day is more about the external reality. Money, health, children, family, shidduchim, zivugim, all these things. And the first day is about your inner spiritual development. And the inner spiritual development of the world. and that you want to bring that out into the world, and that's what you're committed to do, and there ain't odd except for that. And that's the essence of the Shema. The Shema on Rosh Hashanah is to say that everything is one, everything is one, everything is connected. Everything is one and everything is connected. But when we say the Shema is actually the mitzvah, not just declaring God's unity. It's called Makabel or Malchus Shemayim. Makabel or Malchus Shemayim means I'm committed to bringing out the divine revelation into the world, even if it kills me. No, I know that some of you think it's killing you already. I totally hear that. But it means to take upon yourself the burden, the achrayot, the responsibility, that you are never going to compromise the ultimate truth, the ultimate love, the ultimate revelation again. And you're going to give every moan as much and as deep and as hard, as much as it takes. And you can handle it, and you will be given the strength to hold it, and you're going to celebrate the revelation of it. But that is what we're committed to do. Kabbalah or Malchus Shemayim doesn't just mean, when I'm here and I'm high and I'm connected and I'm buzzing, I'm full of light and energy and blessing. Oh, I totally accept the truth. But a day later, but 15 minutes later, I'm in the car and I'm frustrated and I'm bored and I'm anxious and I'm pain, and I really can't be bothered having with a minion. I really can't be bothered getting the right heksha. It's good enough heksha. There's a rabbi, within the same neighborhood, so it's probably good enough, And the answer is no. Now can you handle that? Now do you commit to that? Now do you eliminate every block or fear or point of laziness or justification or rationalization and tell yourself, rationalize why it's okay, it's fine, nobody cares. No, this is the truth. I'm committed to the truth. Makabel, oil Malchus Shemayim. The oil, the responsibility of revelation of the infinite world. All Malchus Shemayim is Rosh Hashanah, Shema. When you see the truth, when you see the unity, when you see the goodness, then you realize I swallow my pride, I drop my ego defense, and I live a life stepping up to the truth. So I want to do a Luba Chabert. I want to do an avoda, a technique, an exercise together, whereby we connect to everything in the world, every detail in the world, and we'll show you can do this with the path, it's kashrus in your consciousness, and we choose to fix that within ourselves and therefore elevate every part of the world, because that's going to be part of Malchus. I want to practice the shofar together. We're going to blow the shofar, we're going to use the shofar to connect to a higher part in ourselves. I hate talking about what I'm about to talk about, but I feel I have a responsibility to say it over, to say it out loud. About 10 years ago, the year after I first got back from Uman, I had a miracle happen to me. Now, I don't know if you think I'm a tzaddik by saying this. I'm not a tzaddik, and my proof of not being a tzaddik is I'm going to teach this to you tonight, and I believe with all my heart you're going to be able to do it too. But the miracle is just like it comes to you. Just as they went to blow the shofar, something popped into my head, something bad and wrong that I did 1,000 years ago in a past life in the same body. And the second the shofar blew, it came to me so hard, I have no idea where it came from. And as the shofar was blowing, I felt it draining and running and melting out of every dimension of my being. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then the shofar blew again, and I have no idea where this thing came from. I was pretty much convinced myself I was a tzaddik, and boom, there it was, another thing. And the same thing happened. I started to get into the rhythm. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. And then I started to choose, okay, what's going to happen next? I want Hashem to put it into my head. Boom, there it was. Boom, there it was. Boom, there it was. And the way they interconnected and unraveled, and each one showed it was like the most deepest healing session I've ever had. And I wasn't doing anything. That's a proof it's something good when you're not doing anything, because you'll just get in the way of the process. So what I found is it didn't hit me as hard the years after as that hit, but I never felt like so cleansed ever from any Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, ever as that. But I found that I could do it each year by choosing it consciously, and it comes in. So we're going to practice that together tonight. We're going to practice the shofar cleansing process. We're going to practice the shofar sourcing process. We're going to practice how the shofar heals not just ourselves, but others too. And we're going to practice saying the Shema. We're going to practice committing and giving ourselves over, that every day, every second, I'm giving myself to the ultimate truth. And if I'm afraid, Shlomo Volvi says, if you say the Shema on Rosh Hashanah and you don't feel resistance in your body, you did not really say it. You know, people say to me, I said the Shema and I knew what it meant, I was committing everything, my life to the truth, whatever, and frankly, Rabbi, I was really terrified to say it. Good, then you really said it. Because then you really stepped up and you faced resistance, then you knew the consequence. Any kid can mumble the words. Can you face the consequence? Can you face the pain? Can you face the fear? And then step up anyway, right? That's the game. That's the truth. Then you're saying everything is one. Ein ad milvado doesn't just mean everything is one and everything is good and everything is God. It means everything else that I think isn't is also that. So at Rosh Hashanah is everything you think isn't, that resists that. No, I'm stepping up with that as well. And I'm going to teach you, when we start the shir in 2 hours, that Joseph Rabbi posted, by the way. He's the only one not laughing. High Elevation Tribe. All this is in one pasuk, and I want to share that pasuk with you, and then we're going to begin. The pasuk that we learned, even the halachas, we learned some of the key hashkafic ideas. It's a beautiful, simple Torah for you. 5 more minutes on this, and then we'll enter into the experiential. I'm loading you up with these themes, with these patterns, so we can unlock them in the experiential state and see the revelations, the sagas that come from them. Tehillim, Psalms, Pei Aleph 81, line number 4, to bring it all together. A beautiful, beautiful Torah by the Maggid of Mezrich. Also Rav Nachman. Also the Balatanya. Tiku b'chodesh shofar. We should blow in the month the shofar. The month being Rosh Hashanah. B'keser liyom chagenu. In the time period of the day of the festival. That's when we should blow shofar. In the time period of the day of the festival. Ki choik liYisrael. It's a law that we may not understand. It's a mechanism of consciousness. It's a secret mechanism of reality to the Yisrael, to the Israelites, to Am Yisrael. Mishpat le'elahei Yaakov. Now this is read in a very interesting way. The basic reading of this line is Mishpat le'elahei Yaakov. It's a judgment day to the God of Jacob. What does it mean, a judgment day to the God of Jacob? It means Hashem judges on this day. We are judged on this day, Yom Hadin. We're judged on this day. Listen to this beautiful Torah. English translation, we will blow the shofar in the month of Tishri. B'kes liyom chagenu, at the time on the day of the festival. Which festival? Rosh Hashanah. Ki choik liYisrael, for all of Am Yisrael, all of Klal Yisrael, all the Israelites. This is a mechanism, if we blow the shofar on that day, that there's a mishpat le'elahei Yaakov. What does that mean? That God judges us on this day. 3 questions. Number 1, the Balatanya asked the question, Tiku b'chodesh shofar. Why doesn't it say we blow b'chodesh? It says we blow in the month the shofar. Why doesn't it say which month? The month? We can blow it any month. We blow it in the month of Tishrei. But why do we blow it in the month of Tishrei? Why doesn't it say the month of Tishrei? B'chodesh Tishrei ha-shofar. Why is Tishrei synonymous with the word chodesh? Chodesh means month. B'keser liyom chagenu. B'keser liyom chagenu means at the time of our festival, but this word keser doesn't really mean time. It really means at the time of concealment. Keser means to cover over. We should blow the shofar on the first day of the month of Tishrei, which has an energy of covered overness. You got that? What does that mean? Why is this day about Rosh Hashanah about covered overness? And then this remarkable line, Mishpat le'elahei Yaakov. What does that mean, Mishpat le'elahei Yaakov? It's usually translated as a judgment to the God of Jacob. But lamed also means for, right? It's So the Maggid HaMezrich says the literal translation is on this day of Rosh Hashanah, not we get judged, but God gets judged. It's a judgment day for Hashem. I'm glad you found that funny.
Hashem gives through Echad, but Echad itself is a creation. It's not the Ein Sof. That's
also interesting indeed.
That's from the Derech Hashem from the Ramchal. It's not mine.
That's also Torah, right?
Everything in the world is not Hashem.
That's true.
The Rambam says that's how Avodah Zorah started. What you're saying.
Right.
Everything in the world, we're not Hashem.
Right. Hashem Echad u'Shmo Echad. What's the Shmo Echad, which is separate from Hashem
Echad is the
Echad?
Keter that was created to join us to Hashem.
That's a beautiful Torah. I've also got a beautiful Torah. Do you want to hear it?
I do.
Cool.
But everything is not God. Otherwise, why have Torah? If everything is God, you don't have to do the mitzvahs because it's self-imposed. It's voluntary. Mitzvahs are not voluntary.
I totally hear you. Everything has a revelation of God within it. That's how we understand it in a simple way. Simple way. What does it mean that God gets judged on Rosh Hashanah? That's certainly a relief. He can chill out for 48 hours. He's not looking at me, he's looking at himself. Briefly, I want to answer these 3 questions for you. Then we're going to have some wine. Then we're going to begin. Why is Tishrei called Chodesh? The answer is Chodesh means month, but it also means an energetic renewal. On Rosh Hashanah, at the time of the shofar blowing, you are given your energy for all of the year. It's an amazing thing to know that on Tuesday at 9 o'clock at night, in the middle of February, you're having an argument with someone and you want a blessing of peace. You're very low level financially at the end of the month and you're saying, Hashem, I need an abundance, an influx of money. You're feeling, God forbid, sick and you're saying, Hashem, give me health. Is there a blessing of peace? Is there a blessing of abundance? Is there a blessing of love? The answer is, it depends what came in on the first day of Rosh Hashanah. You know when Rosh Hashanah comes in? When the shofar blows. So the essential judgment, even though technically speaking there's different ways to learn this, you actually judge sometime on your best performance, wherever that is on the 48 hours. And in another sense, the best time to be judged is on the first day, in the first 3 hours of the first day. At night, we're not judged because all our mitzvahs and all our, God forbid, favors go up at the beginning of the year. But on a basic level, Hashem looks into your heart. He scans you, B'nai Moran. He scans your essence. He scans your purpose. He scans the buildup of all you have, positive, negative. And he says, right at this moment when the shofar blows, who are you? And that's when the influx, that's when the blessing comes in. The Baal HaTanya says, amazingly, everything that you receive during the year, you receive in that moment when the shofar blows. One, all the life, all the moichin, all the consciousness, all the abundance, all the success, all the spiritual pleasure, the spiritual benefit, all of it is laid out in potential. Doesn't mean you'll get that. It means there's a potential. Number one. But in your middle of Kislev, 3 months later, and you're praying for something, so it's not just that you get to the Rosh Hashanah, it's given generally into Rosh Hashanah, and then it comes into each month, and the Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the Chiddush, so the scratches, the beginning of each month. So it's a proportion to each month on the Rosh Chodesh. And then, if you're middle of Tuesday, how do you get in that week? So it comes from the year, the Rosh Hashanah, then it comes to the beginning of each month, and then it comes into the Shabbos. That's what happens to you on the Tuesday afternoon is determined by the energy you're born in through the consciousness you generated on Shabbos. And then more than that, if it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's not just from Shabbos, it's also your Shachris. The mystics say that's why Shachris is the longest prayer, because you're drawing in the consciousness and the blessing, the abundance of the Shef and the Bracha for the whole of the day. So what you get in the day depends on what you get in the morning, but the resources you get in the morning is determined from the Shabbos, and the resources from the Shabbos are determined by the first day of the month energetically. There's a flow down, there's a hishtalshelis, and all of that is determined by the influx, the chiddush, the hischadshus, the renewal of spiritual energy in every dimension, every color, every property that comes on the chodesh. Therefore, Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah is called chodesh because it's the renewal, the chiddush of all the energy you received that year. That's pretty intense. And if you hold that in mind, how will the energy be this year? Will it be high or low, good or bad? Will I have health? Will I have money? Will I have blessing? Will I have the strength to hold in truth, in light for my beliefs? Will I not have enough blessing, God forbid, and fall into mistakes, into errors and worse? Will I have the blessing to succeed as an educator, as a father, as a teacher, as a mother, as a child, in all the dimensions of my being? That is determined right at that moment. That's a lot of responsibility. So what do I have to do at that moment of responsibility to guarantee the highest influx? Tiku b'chodesh, at the time of the Chiddush, blow the shofar. At the time of the energy comes in, that's when you blow the shofar, right? B'kesa liyom chagenu. Why is this month called Kesa? Why is this day called Kesa? Kesa means covered over. Rav Nachman of Breslev says a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Torah. What's covered over in this moment? Rosh Chodesh is the only festival that falls at the beginning of the month. Most Jewish festivals fall in the middle of the month, at the time of the full moon. What's the moon like at the beginning of the month? It isn't there. My friends, listen very carefully. What's Kesa? What's the time of concealment? The time when the moon is concealed. The moon is dark. The moon is not visible. What does the moon represent? The moon represents your heart. The sun represents, the Chama, the sun represents your mind. The letters Chama turned around, Hamoyach, the mind, the consciousness. Your beliefs, your value, your vision, your essence. That's Rosh Hashanah. It's the time of the sun, it's not the time of the moon. The moon represents your heart. The moon waxes and wanes. Sometimes your heart is strong and passionate and holy and elevated and electrified with spirituality and dedication and love and compassion and awe and balance and boundaries and all the right properties and all the right balance and harmony. But sometimes our heart betrays us, full of fear and lust and ego and doubt and pain and all these terrible things, right, etc., etc. What should we do with our heart on Rosh Hashanah? The answer is forget it. Yom Kippur is the day of the heart. Rosh Hashanah is about a time of judgment. Don't bring up your problems, your issues, your baggage when you're being judged. If you have a parking ticket and you leave it 1 week, 2 week, 1 year, 2 year, and they finally haul you into court, and they say, is this your ticket? Did you ignore the fine? And you say, yes, yes, yes. No, and you spend the whole time saying, no, I didn't mean it, I meant to pay it, and I forgot. You're making up all these excuses. And finally they say, at the moment of judgment, the moment of this, is there anything else we need to know about you? And you go, not at all, except actually when I was 12 years old, I actually stole something from a store. I actually had 15 other parking tickets in my bag. We actually have paid on in electricity. I can't be bothered with that. And you start listing off these things, and the judge is sitting there turning red. No matter what you've done, when you're standing in front of the judge, shut up. Start with, I know I've done wrong, but let me tell you what I believe. And Rosh Hashanah, besides the time of the shofar blowing, is Yom Hadin. Hashem's like, we will deal with your heart in 10 days. Hashem says unto you, Rosh Hashanah, I get the baggage you're handling. I get what you've been through. I get the blocks. But let's, before we get into the nitty-gritty, can you remember what you were living for? Can you remember what your essence is, what your purpose is, what your tachlis is? Because if we can agree on what we're building together, then I'm willing to work through that other junk over the next 10 days because I know we're on the same page. It's the Rosh. And the Rosh means you have to go deep to your purpose, to your destiny, to your essence, to what you're living for and breathing through. And you have to make Hashem a compelling argument. Not just compelling in your mind, compelling that you believe it and you get it. Leave behind the baggage, leave behind the heart. During the shofar, it is a time of afternoon. When the shofar blows, it's a time of kesa. Reach up to your shorish neshama, to your ultimate purpose, strength, light, destiny. What are you living for? What do you want? What do you need to see? What are the things you need to overcome? Go. Shorish neshama. And the last question. Mishpat le'elokei Yaakov. Listen how deep this is. This is gorgeous. It's the Maggid HaMezrich. If at the time of Chiddush, if at the time of ultimate light and influx is given to you, right when the moment being judged, Rather than you focus on your sins and your mistakes and your errors and your doubt and your pain, but what you do with that day is you focus on the Rosh, on the vision, on the Rosh Hashanah, your soul, and you strip off that fear, you strip off that, you say everything is Hashem and everything is good and Ein Al Milvadei, and I'm with you and this is what is light and this is the truth, and I know I've made this mistake and I know that I've fallen, but the truth is, and what I really represent is, and what I want to see is, and really what I want to fight to see is, and what I know I should be is, and you start doing that, you go higher and higher and higher, the Shorish Neshama, higher and higher, to the call of the shofar, higher and higher and deeper, deeper, and you get to a place where you get out of the nitty-gritty little details of the little life, and you access the true potency, the true primal potency of your divine soul. You step out of the mentality of the little pray for things that I want in the world, please, a new car, please Hashem have Rahmanas on your people, I need that new iPhone X because my iPhone's from only 6 years ago and it's still got a crack, and no, go deeper, go higher. And when you get to that higher, deeper place, my friends, you're stepping out of your Nefesh Bahamas, you're stepping into your Nefesh Elokis. You're stepping into your divine soul, where you are radiant, where you are light, where you know the truth, where you are the truth. And Hashem at that moment comes to judge you. And when he looks at you, who are you? You're a divine soul. You're a spark of Hashem. You're a portion of an infinite Hashem. So Hashem's judgment is on the God in you. What does it mean, a God judgment of God? It means a judgment of the God in you. If he comes to you in your Nefesh Bahamas with fear and doubt and confusion and pain and tiredness and laziness and fusion and fear, and then he's just like, okay, listen, I'll pick you up, you're a shmata, fine, we'll get our act together, we'll work out something better for the new year, here's $2, buy yourself something new, some shoes, that's okay, I'll take care of you. But he doesn't see a partner. If he comes to you and you've accessed your light when the shofar blows, you've accessed the divinity within you when the shofar blows, then you know what? The judgment is on the divine divinity within you. Mishpat la'elokei Yaakov. Then he's looking at God within you and he sees you are a divine light in this world. Let me flood you with all the resources necessary to illuminate the world with the spark of divinity within you. That's what we're going to do tonight. If you do it well, you can chill out for Rosh Hashanah. We've got it covered already. Any questions? Any answers? I'm open, in general. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take exactly 17 seconds to use the bathroom. Good luck to the women. And to get a glass of wine, have a l'chaim. 30 seconds for the bathroom and the wine. The wine is good. If you're not comfortable with meditating, you always feel, I get a bit self-conscious, but why have a glass of wine? We have a 3,000 year of this tradition. I'm serious when I say that. There's a reason the tzaddikim drink wine, be in a higher consciousness on Shabbos before entering into holy states. You'll see it's easier, it facilitates the experience. People do lots of other drugs to get there. Wine should be the worst thing we ever do, number one. When we get back, I'm going to introduce you very briefly to the elevation hachana. You'll see that on your sheets. I'm not going to have time to talk it out in the sheets. This is something in the elevation program you can learn online, a whole entire series about consciousness and self-development and higher meditation skill sets directly from sources, the Elevation Mastery Program. You can learn it online at elevationproject.com. Tonight we're just doing a little taste of things. I'm going to teach you a few skill sets that you can replicate beautifully, easily on Rosh Hashanah to help access that deeper place, that deeper state. Once you've got there, we're going to run through these exercises. Rosh Hashanah, we're going to connect our consciousness to all the reality and elevate it. We're going to listen to the shofar and do tshuva through the power of the shofar and connect to our Shavas Neshama. We're going to talk you through it. And finally, when the shofar blows, we're going to commit to unbelievable, absolute dedication to the higher truth, to not let anything get in my way. We're going to say the Shema together as the shofar blows. And then we'll fly around in the sky for a little bit and come down to land right on time at 11 o'clock or 10:30, whenever we say 10:30. Any questions before we take a break? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Could be that everybody else knows the answer, but I'm a little more simple. So, right now we're going to go into this experience, right? And I guess my question is what is so special about that exact moment on Rosh Hashanah that God is judging us in that exact moment?
Because that's the moment.
Can we not do it meaning, like, what? is it like if somebody, let's say 6 months into the year, decides to change?
The Shem is open for tshuva any time.
Okay.
Let me ask you, the farmer walks to the field and drops his seeds on the floor. Are the seeds going to grow into fruitful trees?
You gotta water the plant.
Let's say he waters the plant. Are they going to grow into fruitful trees? It depends what time of the year they're planted. Different times have different energies and facilitate different outcomes. So the Kabbalistic way of looking at the world is time. The word time, zimun, means an energy that's prepared in advance. It gets released there. So while you can grow Tentu Hashem at any time of the year and transform, absolutely you can. Don't wait a second. When you feel it, go for it. There are times of the year that if you want a certain result, you can learn to tap into that, and you'll see a greater revelation success. That may sound like dogma to you, but this is a tradition we have, and there's very interesting things associated with that, but we can't go into that tonight. That's basic understanding of the question. Quick question? Yes.
Yeah, in one sentence, can you say what the goal of Rosh Hashanah is? Can you summarize?
The goal of Rosh Hashanah is...
Like, what's the destination?
The destination of Rosh Hashanah is to the degree that you can reveal in your head, heart, and mind that you're committed to giving over to Hashem, then everything that will happen in your life from that moment forward, especially the 365 days in that moment forward, will be determined from that moment. That's the goal, no pressure. And the judgment of Rosh Hashanah is, what do you want to happen in the next 365 days? Saying it very briefly, my friends, listen very carefully. You get assessed in school, when you're in school, and you get assessed the last few weeks of school, you get all the tests. So it's very interesting that the judgment of Rosh Hashanah is not at the end of the last year, it's on the first days of the new year. You know what Hashem's saying to you? He says, I'm not testing you if you passed or failed. We're now talking about the building of the future, the new year. But to see what we're going to build together, what we're going to partners, I need to know where your head is to what's happening in the future. We're already partners, we're already investing. Talk to me. I'm taking you to my office. Let's talk about it. And from that, we'll determine what's to come. Leah.
So what if you realize that it's a big deal?
It's a big deal?
Like,
Nah,
it's a big
it's just a
thing.
year.
Like I have this fear that I feel like is blocking me because
So bring the fear into the light of the Shofar. Tell Hashem about the fear. Hashem knows that fear. You think that's a surprise for him? You think you brush it under the rug? So talk to him about the fear. You know, Hashem, I want to bring out, I want to commit to this, this, and this. But you know what? I've got this fear. Hashem, can you help me in the next year with this fear? Can you help me process that, release that? Because that's part of the deal. That's part of what I'm coming in with. And if I want to commit to this, I also need to break through this. The second day when we pray for all our needs, why do we pay for money? That's just selfish. Why do we pay for get married? That's just selfish. Think about the world. Think about the trees. Think about everyone in the world, right? The answer is because everything I pray for on the second day, the money, the success, the love, the children, the health, is only to facilitate what I committed to the first day. So if you say to Hashem, I want to overcome this fear, overcome this block, why do you want to overcome your fears and blocks? Because then I'll feel happy and healthy, be able to chill out at home and have a nice day. No, I want to work through my blocks so I can dedicate myself with all my strength and all my power to the highest truth.
But the fear is the connection.
So speak to him about it. Speak to him about it. Synchronize your watches. We're going to take 5 minutes break. Hold your questions. You'll be fine without them. And to be continued. Ask Hashem to show you exactly the limits of That's it. That's the answer to your question. Don't tell it to about guys. Focus on that. I can give as much as I can give, and I can't give more than I can give. Hashem, show me that. Let me be happy that I can give. If I can give more, Hashem, show me how to. If I'm giving all I can, let me be happy. Show me the balance. You got it? It's a deep line for you. I want you to think about it. Are you ready?
10:30, yeah. taking the pie and then don't come back.
Found the house.
Kind of what?
I found the house.
What does that mean?
I told you I was looking at the real
Oh,
estate
that's it.
neighborhood.
That's it. All right.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am when you are. The moment of truth has arrived. Please grab your wine glasses, have one last l'chaim to open the doors of deception. Ellie, we tried to find you. You have some space in the middle. You want to give a chair over there somewhere? Grab a chair, bring your own, BYO. Please turn your cell phones up 100%. No buzzing. Be on plane mode so we can fly to the blue skies together. Please take your seats. Finish your melon. It's a Kabbalistic tradition from way back. My melon must be completed. Are you ready? Cell phones completely off. Please put everything out of your lap. Phones, notes, handbags, babies, husbands, wives. They'll be okay for the next 10 minutes, I promise. Noyam Adonai Eloheinu Aleinu Ma'aseh Yadeinu Krenina Aleinu Ma'aseh Yadeinu Kineo. That means, Hashem, we don't know how to do this, but you know how to do this. So may your soul, may my soul, channel through me, take true control. May I relinquish myself to it. May something extraordinary be revealed and done. Have your last l'chaim, because it helps. Put it on the floor nearby. can let it go. You'll be okay. Rule of elevation. Rule of elevation. The biggest block to having spiritual experiences. The desire to have a spiritual experience. Let's begin by relinquishing our need to have a spiritual experience. But I spent 50 shekels. Took me 2 hours to get here. But I drank 14 glasses of wine. And it's cheap wine. It's not true, it's pretty good. It's good to laugh and take ourselves so seriously. You don't need a spiritual experience. If you have a spiritual experience, it doesn't mean you'll be able to replicate it, repeat it tomorrow, Rosh Hashanah, any other time. Number 2 is if you don't have a spiritual experience, you may just pay attention to what the blocks are, what the issues were, what came up for you, what the resistance was. Become more mindful and aware of that and actually be able to work through that and learn something from the future. So we approach it with something in elevation called Hislamdus, which means I allow myself to learn through the process. So I bless you all to learn through the process. And I bless you all even deeper to give your spiritual experience away to somebody else. If it works, it doesn't mean you're a better person. If it doesn't work, it doesn't mean you're a worse person. You have a soul. Stuff is true. At the right time, things open. This doesn't make you a failure if you can't get there. You are fine. You are loved. You are lovable. You are worthy. You are good. You are okay. It's a done deal. What happens in the next 45 minutes doesn't speak to that point at all. The rest is just curiosity. Just curiosity. What can I learn? What can I see? What can I notice? Which things are easy for me to tune into? Which things are hard and more resistant to tune into? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, wow, I just learned something about myself. Cool. That will be helpful in future. That will get you there more in future than having a high experience. If your Buddhist experience compels you to want to sit on the floor, come and sit on the floor. If there's a position you need to be in, get that position. Choose what's the optimal way for you to connect to things. Great. It surprises me when I say that and people do it, because you don't think to do that before, but good. Do what you need to do for yourself. Be kind to yourself going in, and be kind to yourself through the process. If you need to laugh hysterically about something, bavakasha, now's the time. I'm going to guide you through this. Not that this is one of those meditations, guided meditations. This is not a guided meditation. The only reason I'm guiding you through this is because you don't know how to do these things yet, so I'm going to talk you through this. In elevation and tonight as a whole, these are skill sets you can learn, and when you learn to do them, you do them naturally, automatically, and you get yourself higher and deeper than anyone guiding you. But for the sake of not being laborious about explaining it to you and explaining the rules, we're just going to do it and have fun with it, and I'll talk you through every step, and it'll be fine. But if at any point you start to fly and my voice gets boring and annoying, great, ignore it and fly. You hear me? Hashem should help us. He should see the Emunah with every single one of us who's believing, who's trying, who wants more connection. That connection is precious in Hashem's eyes. We should find chaim, grace in His eyes. He should open our hearts and souls. He should bring everyone's Emunah together to create a love and a connection higher than we can get individually. Should see the yearning in our hearts to really connect with our families, with Eretz Yisrael, with the Chagim, with Torah and mitzvahs, whether we're here religious or secular, or Sephardi or Hasidic, or whatever box we put ourselves in, Litvish, Shirish, Dati Lumi, to Tel Aviv is secular. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're yearning for the same thing and we're all disconnected in our own way. Shem Yerachem, we're trying. We're trying. We're here. We slept out. We drank the wine. 50 shekel. We're trying. And if you think you have problems, there's people here that really have problems. If you think you really have problems, there's people here that have it worse, and they're trying. Man, oh man. I thought for them. I don't need to have it. Give my emunah to them. Help them. Help us all as a kibbutz of emunah, a gathering of consciousness, a gathering of love. If this room is strong enough to come here, and someone in this neighborhood, or someone in this city, or someone in this country, or someone in the world, there's someone who doesn't even have the capacity to come, they've given up on the capacity to hope, then give it to them. Give it to them. The more you think that way and feel that way, you start to feel that you're kind of there already. Kind of there already. You have enough love, you have enough peace, you have enough blessing. I get that it's hard. Every day I get that it's hard. There's nothing you have to prove to anyone. Not to Doniel Katz, not to the friend that you came with, not to your mother, your cousin, your sister, your husband, your wife, not to yourself. You're fine, you're loved, you're okay now. Relinquish the desire to control the situation. By knowing that there's no mess or darkness you really have to get yourself out of, because you're okay now. Now. Hashem's creating it all now. Here's your unguided, guided meditation. Hashem should open our hearts, see our emunah and yearning, our hope and our love. Desire for truth and connection and goodness, of integrity, living a life of deeper spirituality, to bring back Mashiach, to bring back Achdus and Shalom and Klal Yisrael. Covered between husband and wife, that our children should feel loved and safe, should be safe and connected. We should come home to this land, to each other, to ourselves. There's a light that we can access in this abode in the next 45 minutes. Hashem, Yerachem, and light is up. Hashem, for your sake, if not for ours, it's also for our sake. We get that. The light is up. If you agree with what I say Amen. If you need to be true, say it with all your heart. Say Amen.
Amen.
Allow your body to react. Relax. Allow your body to relax. Be aware of your body, be aware of your shoulders. Start on the nefesh. Start with the physical. Allow your shoulders to relax. You're safe. You're in a safe place. You're good. It doesn't matter what happens in the next few minutes. Your shoulders right now, allow them to relax. To feel warm and relaxed. To melt and feel warm and relaxed. Allow your arms to feel relaxed. Your arms feel melting and relaxed. Your hands are melting down, are warm and relaxed. Your hands are melting and relaxed. Your arms are relaxed. Your shoulders are relaxed. Your entire torso, front and back, is relaxed and warm. You're safe and warm and relaxed. You're surrounded by good people with good hearts. This is a place where we're safe and can relax. Your chest, your upper back, your stomach and lower back. Relax, release and relax, release and relax. Melting and relax. You're okay. You're okay. You're doing fine. You're relaxed. It's beautiful. We're doing something beautiful. Your hips, your legs, Hips and legs relaxing, relaxing, relaxing. Your knees, shins, thighs, ankles, feet are relaxing down, melting into the floor. Melting into the floor. Release the nefesh, melting into the floor. You feel comfortable. Allow your chest to open, your head to fall back a little. Just fall back into it. Beautiful. From the top of your head down, you're relaxing. A light is emanating down, melting it away. Your temples are relaxing, relaxing. Your ears are relaxing. Your eyeballs, eye sockets are relaxing. It's all okay, it's okay. Trust me, trust Hashem, trust yourself. Your cheeks are relaxing. Your mouth is warm and relaxed. There's light there to express. Now it's relaxed. There's nothing you have to be feeling. There's nothing you have to be doing. You don't have to be a certain degree of calm. Wherever you're up to, I promise you, it's totally fine to get to the destination. You hear me? Your jaw is relaxing. Your jaw, my friends, is relaxing and relaxed. It's beautiful. You're good, you're loved, you're compassionate, you're worthy of compassion. You are known in your heart, you are seen. You're connected to a beautiful group of people. We're there already, because we tried. Because we came and tried. It's okay. Here we go. Carried by the music. Breath. Your own shofar. I'm going to ask everyone shortly to begin cycles of breathing of 5. Not yet. Breathe out for 5 seconds. I'm going to count to 5. Exhale all the air. You're going to hold it for 5 seconds. Then you're going to inhale for 5 seconds. Hold that for 5 seconds. Breathing in the light of Hashem. Breathing out everything back to its source. Don't think too hard about this. Take a deep inhale now. Go. Inhale. Hold it. And exhale to the count of 5. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold it. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. All the way in, all the way out. Keep it going. All the way to extremes. 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going. Doing wonderful. Just the breathing. And 5. Keep going. All the way in and out. You're doing perfect. And 5. By yourself. And 5. And 5. All the way in, all the way out. You're at peace. And 5. breathing in the light of Hashem, blowing out, being Hashem's shofar. Go. 5. Light of Hashem. Hold it. 5. Let it purge and fill you. And 5. Beautiful. And 5. Tekiah. And 5. Come back to normal breathing. Fly with the music. Normal breathing. Back to yourself. Epic holy love. I wish you to awaken right now. Love and fear and awe. I want you to choose one memory, one potent memory in your life of feeling tremendous love. Out of someone feeling love for you, or you feeling love for someone. For Hashem, for a beloved person, for yourself. A moment when you're overcome with tremendous love. Choose one very clear, specific memory right now. It'll come to you easy on the count of 1. 3, 2, 1. There it is. If you have that memory of love, say loudly and clearly, yes. I want you to spend a few seconds right now viewing that like a movie. Give it colors, give it details, fill in that memory with all your senses, sight, sound, color, smell, touch. Watch it through all its beauty. See that love, know that love, feel that love. Do it now. Beautiful. I want you to think of one moment right now where you felt tremendous holiness. You were standing in a holy place, you were standing in a holy day, you were standing for a great tzaddik, you were reading a holy work. We felt overcome with holiness, kedusha, heiligkeit, whatever that means for you. In a Torah sense, in a general sense, if you have no other choice, it was some LSD high. I'm serious when I say use it. Take your life experience and use it. When you touch the highest of the high, the highest holiness, choose a very clear, specific holy memory. It'll come to you clearly, the highest one you need when I say 1. 3, 2, 1, let it come. If you got one, say yes. Beautiful. Take a few seconds right now, watch it like a movie, memorize it, feel it, connect to it. Colors, sights, sounds, smells, touches, go. Watch it again, round and round, watch it again. Where's the magic moment which opens you the most? Holiness, kedusha. Next, awe, yira, nora. Think of a moment in your life of tremendous awe, shell-shocked, amazing, stunning awe, where you felt you were hiking and you came to the top of the mountain, you saw the curve of the earth, and you felt so small on this globe. When you're out in the desert late at night and there's a million trillion stars and you're so small. When you felt humbled by Hashem's presence and revelation. Find a moment in your life of tremendous awe. 3, 2, 1. There it is, awe. If you see it, get it, know it, say yes. Beautiful. If you can't get awe, find another love, another holiness. Begin to watch it like a movie. See the details, remember, engage all your senses, details, colors. Feel, connect to that awe right now. Go. Beautiful. I want want you to return to the image of love right now. 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds love, and then move to holiness. 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds. Then go to awe, love, holiness, awe, epic, holy love, round and round. A circle, a spiral, round and round. Do that now, higher and higher. Go. Love, awe, holiness, details, colors, senses, smells. What was the temperature? What was the peak moment in that experience? Rewind what you began, then flow to the next one, flow to the next one, round and round, round and round, higher and higher, higher and higher. Feel that which connects them all. Can you feel the love and the fear? Fear and the love, the awe and the fear, the holiness and love. Can you feel the holiness and love? What other images, loves, fears, awes, holinesses, memories? Let them come in and tangle, weave, higher and higher, round and round. Sense that which connects them all. See, every one of them was given by a gift as of Hashem, from Hashem to know Hashem. That moment of love is for you to know divine love. That moment of awe and every detail in it was given so you would know awe. That moment of holiness and Kedusha was given you would know holiness and Kedusha. See the gift through the experience. Know Hashem's light through that gift. Next level, there's a ladder in front of you. The bottom of the ladder is on the Aretz. The top goes to the heavens, higher than the high. There are 10 rungs in that ladder. There you are on the bottom of the ladder in your life, in your traps, in your fear and pain and ego, and those cycles that go round and round and never stop. The top of the ladder is in the clouds of infinite love, of infinite light, of infinite bliss. Hakol echad, Hashem lavudoi, chayim chiyus, shefa bracha. Infinite love and connection. 10 rungs of the ladder. You ready to climb to the top? This is how you do it. One rung at a time. Step up to the first rung, let go of everything below it and count to yourself. 1, 1, 1, 1. Step up to the next rung. And then count 4 times. 2, 2, 2. 2, then the next rung 4 times, the next rung 4 times, higher and higher, higher and higher. And every level you take, allow everything below it to fall away, and fall more, connect more, climb more, elevate more, into the light and the love of the aura itself, to your infinite soul. Should you get to 10, guess what? There's rung 11. Higher and higher. Keep going higher and higher. More bliss, more love, connection, more peace, more truth, more unity, more light, more openness. Let everything else fall away. You ready? Begin. Now, first rung. Step up and climb. go higher. Yes, love. Yes, peace. Fall into that goodness. You're not the only one climbing now. Everyone in this room is climbing. Maybe someone's stuck. You can feel it on the ladder when someone's stuck. Pull them up with you, reach down to them. Wherever it is, whatever they feel like, be open to it. Give them a hand and lift them higher. Shine the light and love and peace that you have onto them. They'll be released. They'll come higher. Together, we ascend. We are loved. Go higher. Beautiful. Let the ladder fall away. Let the earth fall away. You are flying, you are floating, you are free. Now epic holy love, love, awe, holiness around and around again in that light. Let the love and the peace of the awe Ein Sof, of the infinite line, shine through them all right now. Round and round, increase that love and awe. Go. Baal Shem Tov says there's a waterfall of light. You're surrounded by light now. See this incredible, awesome light of love, of infinite love surrounding you, all around you, swirling around of you like a waterfall of love and compassion pouring down onto you. Tilt your head back into it now. Open up your palms to receive it now. Let yourself go, fall back further. Do you know you can increase that light, you can increase that love, you know how? Just choose it to show there's so much love to give you. The only thing holding it back now is our choice to see it, our choice to receive it. I'm going to count back from 3, 2, 1. When I get to 1, allow that love, that energy, that light, that bliss to simply double itself. There's nothing you have to do but choose for it to double and increase. Are you ready? Choose and believe it. 3, 2, 1. Increase now. Let it increase more, double, triple, 100%, 200%. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Let it increase. If you felt it increase even a little, say yes. Beautiful. Now it's flowing down onto you. It's not enough around you, it must be within you. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to 1, it's going to flood into your mind. The point at the top of your head where men put on tefillin, where the baby's skull is soft when it's born. That's the entrance point of your higher soul, of your third eye. Das Elyon of Keter. 3, 2, 1. It's going to flood into your mind. All the fear, doubt, all those beliefs, those fallen beliefs, those confused beliefs are going to run out and be flooded with holy beliefs. Let it happen by itself. Choose it and believe it. 3, 2, 1. Into the mind. Out goes the confused thoughts, the stuck thoughts. In goes thoughts of love, of joy, of blessing, of bracha, of integration, of insight, of wisdom into your mind. It's your mind now. Increase it now. Now the next level is going to drop into your heart on 3, 2, 1. Fear, ego, doubt, pain is going to be blown out by tremendous holy blessings. You ready? 3, 2, 1. From your mind to your heart, go. Feel love, compassion, light, joy, awe, love, awe, compassion. Feel the love, the connectivity between all things. All things. The dark things, the light things, confusing things, far things, the near things, the holy things, the everything, Into your body now. The heart pumps the body to the blood. From your heart to your blood, to all your limbs, Emunah Zevarim, to your hands, to your body. Let it spread out behind you, to everyone in the room, everyone in the room. See a light flooding around everyone in the room, that awe to everyone in the room, that love to everyone in the room, that holiness to everyone in the room. Climb the ladder, connect to it. Create a field around this room. This cashless, this catalyst, we are connected and interconnected. Let's expand your senses to feel. 3, 2, 1. Choose and believe that our souls are connected, and you will feel an instant influx of everyone else's light, their soul, their energy, their truth. 3, 2, 1. Now. As you increase this, you may feel that fear, that doubt, that pain, that confusion, that challenges. Accept it, hold space for it, and turn that to the light. You were born to do this. This is what it means to be a Yid Yisrael. You can do this. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Connect to them. Shine light to them, love to them, release for them, release them. It's sad. We can go higher with the power of tzaddik. Choose one great spiritual master from history. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah, King David, the Baal Shem Tov, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, Rav Nachman ben Feiga, the Balatanya, the Rebbe. No matter who you are, where you are, choose one light, one soul, one master right now. Someone that's with you, someone that guides you. If you don't know who to choose, let it be chosen for you. Let it be chosen through you. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. The one that you most need will come to you and be revealed. 3, 2, 1. Trust it now. Think what you know about this master, their name, their journey, their story. Imagine what they looked like. Whatever comes to you is fine. Trust it. Think of their teachings, their lessons, their Torahs. Bring it up to your mind, spin it around in your mind. We're awakening your soul's desire to connect to it. Go. Watch this. More. Their story, their image, their name, the letters of the name, their heart, their soul, their journey, their struggles, their pains, their lights, their blessings, their face, their kever, their truth, their contribution. Bring that in. Feel covered for it, all for it. Oh my gosh. I know that soul exists to guide you now. As they guided you in life, they will guide you in death. You are their children. They are your shepherd. And on the count of 3, you're going to draw their soul to you. And their soul and its light and its glory will appeal to you. This is Torah, this is in the Zohar, this is in the Piyazetzna. This is your tradition, this is your gift, this is your opportunity, this is your inheritance. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. one, their soul is going to be in front of you. 3, 2, 1. Trust it, believe it, now. Strengthen that feeling by choosing to strengthen their presence. 3, 2, 1, now. Say hello to them. Shalom. Trust what you see and what comes to you. Ask them for blessing, for guidance, for healing, for light. Fall back into their presence. Ask them what's teaching you most need to learn from them. Trust what they tell you. Go. Say thank you. What they tell you makes sense, say thank you. If you need a blessing, ask for blessing. If you have a follow-up question, ask them the question. They're your teacher and guide now. Go. Thank them for their time, for their presence. Ask them to stay with you and guide you. But know in your heart of hearts that all the light, all the wisdom is really coming from Hashem. Sadiq Yisod Elam. They're just channels for the divine light. Pull focus on their wisdom. Pull focus on their light. It's the light behind them. The ultimate light, the ultimate source of all their journey, all their success, all their contribution. Their chesed is the light of Hashem, Gavur is the light of Hashem, Tiferes is the light of Hashem. Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus, their creativity is Hashem's creativity, their wisdom is Hashem's wisdom, their revelation is Hashem's revelation. Tune into that. Tune into that. On the count of 3, you're going to choose and believe that you are one with the infinite light of Hashem. And that light will not just flood you, it will be you, and you will be that light, like a drop of water into the infinite ocean. It's not something you have to do, not a place you have to get to. Stop needing to get anywhere and know you are there. 3, 2, 1, Hashem, connect. Let everything else fall away. You are light, connect. Hashem, open me, feel me, heal me, now, connect. Let all my history fall away, and my pain fall away, and my troubles fall away, and my doubt fall away, and my confusion fall away, may my sorrow fall away. May all the clippers and stuff build up in my body fall away now. Let all the lust and ego and fear of my heart fall away now. Let all the beliefs that are false, that are doubts, that are wrong fall away now. May I be one with the truth forever and also now. And not just me, but everyone in the room. Shine it now to everyone in the room. Give that gift to everyone in the room. You are a tzaddik, you are a tzaddikus, you are a channel. Shine it to everyone in this room. Elevate this room. Give them the gift. Now. 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 Hashem, we hope to you, Hashem, to see fast your light and revelation and beauty in a powerful way in this world. Please remove everything that's wrong and distorted and confusing in this world. everything we worship, that we're pulled and drawn towards, which is not goodness and truth. Cut that off forever. Let us fix this world with your infinite presence. And every individual should call and know your name and draw it into reality. Every individual and being should turn to you, even the most fallen, the most destructive, the most connected and disconnected. They will recognize and know you. Begin right now by connecting to all the inanimate objects in the world, to the sand, to the stone, to the gold in the ground, to the crystals, to the raw elements. On the count of 3, I want you to choose to connect to every rock, every stone, every inanimate object in the world, and choose to connect to it, to feel its presence, to bind it to Hashem. You ready? 3, 2, 1, connect now. See it all around the world, see it above the ground, under the ground, the mountains, the sand on the sea, the dirt, the earth. Feel the earth and the whole world. You are one with it. Shine light to it through you to raise it up, that it should know Hashem, that it should know the light. And deeper, you have earth within you, that which grounds you. Sometimes it drags you down, it makes you lazy, it makes you stuck. Own that now, draw the light into you that grounds you too much, that makes you stuck, that makes you lazy, that draws you to the ground. It sucks away your motivation, Hashem. Turn that back to Hashem now. Heal that in as you heal the doimen, the stone within you, and feel the stone of the whole world transforming and coming alive. Share that light, shine that light now. To all the mountains, all the stones. Give them energy, give them chiyas, give them light. Through you, we give them light. Sameach, the plant life in all the world, every flower, every tree, every leaf on every tree, every herb, every vegetable. Connect to it now. Experience in every country, every continent, everything that's growing up and developing up now. They get their soul through you. They get their power to grow through you. Feel it, see it. Choose and believe and you're connected to it. Think of the yearning for growth within you. The yearning to draw in the sunlight, Hashem's light within you. To turn that to oxygen, to bread, to create food, to create vegetables, to create beauty, to move in the wind, to flow with fluidity of life. And think when your life gets stilted, where you block and sabotage your own growth. Choose to do tshuva on that now. Apologize to Hashem. You're blocking the growth of life of the earth. Allow Hashem to heal your plants, your greenery, your nature, your desire for growth. And as that light heals you and releases that seed, flood out further and stronger the whole of the world. The trees of the world, the fruits of the world, the plants of the world, the leaves of the world, the flowers of the world, the petals of the world, the pollen of the world are receiving from Am Yisrael, Klal Yisrael. Now shine on, go. Every animal in the world, on the count of 3, you will feel and connect to it. It's getting its source through you, Am Yisrael. Every animal. 1, 2, 3. Choose to believe you're connected to it. Go. Every lion, every rhinoceros, every ant, every living being. There's a lion in you. There's a fire in you. There's the strength and memory of an elephant within you. There's the subtleness of a cat within you. There's the cunning of a fox within you. Feel them running through the plains. Feel them in India and Africa. shine light to them, that they should know divinity, that they, your animal self, should be drawn to the light. Your animal self should channel goodness. And where your animal self has sold you out, where your animal self has been an animal, another divine soul, turn that back to Hashem now. Turn the whole animal world back to Hashem. Heal it, release it, and shine stronger to your animal. And shine stronger to the animals of the world. Go. More. Double it, triple it, increase it. Ask Hashem, He will. Now. More. Learn from all of them. Drawing from all of them in holiness and kedusha now. The next step up the chain, every human being, every man, woman and child, every race, color and creed, see how they work, see how they love, feel their struggles and pain, their loneliness, their stuckness, their yearning, their success, their brilliance. Choose to connect with every one of them now. This is what it means to be close to Allah. We love them, we care for them. We want everyone to seek God, everyone to seek good, everyone to know truth. Everyone to find the peace of the light. We are all the goyim, being all the goyim now. Shine on now. And find that goy within you. Where you work, where you play, where you love, where you contribute in the world. Where do you fail at that? Where do you get stuck in now? Choose to heal that now. Draw in healing light. Draw from the tzaddik. Draw from this kibbutz of Emunah, draw from Yerushalayim, draw from the Holy of Holies, draw from Asiyah, Tzia, Bria, Tzilus, Orein, Saf, to all the four corners of the world, every race, color and creed, their pain, their failings, their confusion, their joys, their yearning, their gifts, their blessings, shine to them that light. May every single one of them know and recognize goodness and truth. Finally, allow yourself, oh my friends, give yourself permission to appreciate the beauty of your uniqueness of Klal Yisrael, of Am Yisrael, of Tzelem Elokim, of the conductor, the Ameh Kulam Tzaddikim, those that connect to the greater light of truth. The true tzaddikim, connect to all the tzaddikim you can list and think of their beauty in the light. Or the tzidkaniyot, or the holy women of history, the ones that live on your block and street, contribute in every way of extraordinary history, of the extraordinary contribution we've made. It's okay to appreciate that. Connect to our people. Feel their combined soul, their combined yearning, their combined gift, contribution, revelation, genius, power of prophecy, B'nai Nevi'im, channels of light. It's okay to accept that. It's okay to want that. Become a prophet. Ask Hashem for the light of prophecy to channel through you now. Connect to the prophets, hold on tight. And channel that out, as the cook says, to all the Klal Yisrael, to the babies, to the elderly, to every woman, to every man, the holy and the profane, the yearning and the blocked, the healthy and the sick, to every person in the world, to all the plant life in the world. Reach up to Hashem. Heal yourself by connecting to your source. Know yourself by giving back to creation. Heal yourself by reaching up to your source. Know yourself by channeling down to creation. Go. People in this crowd right now who are suffering with something in their life and their channel, some block, some pain, some confusion, some yearning. Now we must heal them and bless them too. If one person needs a prayer right now, I ask you to raise your hands in a second to say your Hebrew name and one single line about what you need a prayer for. Keep your eyes closed and raise your hand when you have it. A woman in the back row, short blue sleeves. Please say your name out loud. Was it Yehudit Bat? Bat who? Right, Yehudit Bat more. One line, what should we be praying for as loud as you can? My family. She knows what she means, that's all we need to know. Yehudit Bat more, praying for her family. Shine us so much love. Ask Hashem, tremendous love, tremendous light now. See that light come through you. Cleave to the Tzaddikim, cleave to everything in the world, cleave up to Hashem. Surround this room, so much love. She knows what that pain is. On the count of three, you may know that pain. It may come to you in image. Trust whatever comes to you. I don't know if it's true, but trust it. And shine that light. Give them love. Yearn for goodness. Yehuda, can you feel that a little? Good. In the front row on the floor, white shirt, Hebrew name.
Daniel.
Daniel Ben?
It's Daniel Guimaraes.
Okay, great. Daniel, one sentence, what are we praying for?
My dad.
Your dad. Anything else you want to say about that or not necessarily?
Just love.
Love for your dad. This young man is crying on the front of the floor. He knows that pain his father's suffering. Feel the Father. You can connect to it. You can see it. You can know it. It will come to you. Ask Hashem that may give it to you, whatever that is. We're bringing Malchus to all of Klal Yisrael. Can you feel that a little, Daniel? If you let the tears come, that's totally fine. That's release. Let's cry for him too. Next level, every single person in this room, you want us to pray for something? On the count of three, say your full name or your Hebrew name. It's very simple to do. Out loud for everyone to hear. 1, 2, 3. One sentence. You're putting it out there in the world. One sentence. As explicit as you can handle. What is that core thing that needs? Put it out to the world. Have the courage to put it out. Needs to be prayed for. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Go, everybody. Hold the group's energy. And everyone online, you're invited. Say it out loud and draw it now. Go. Draw down the light for everybody else. Draw down that love. Draw it in. Feel the pain. Feel the fear. Feel the dad. It's okay. Don't lose the light. Draw in the Tzaddikim. Draw in that Tzaddikas. Draw in Yerushalayim. There's enough love and compassion to hold it. I promise you Hashem can hold it. I promise you Hashem can hold it all. Give yourself over to Him. I promise you He's big enough to hold it all. Now imagine that's all healed. We're stepping into the avoda of Shofar right now. Imagine 1 year from now, Malchus, the final revelation is in the world. Imagine the ultimate light is in the world. The temple is not in Jerusalem, it's in every one of our hearts. All that healing took place. All that love took place. Transformation for every individual. The rocks, the stones, the plants. See that vision, know that vision. The whole world is ecstatic and blissful. Everything knows, feels, experiences divinity. Are you ready? With the first set of the shofar blowing, we're going to ascend to the source of our soul. Let it all go now, it's all healed. You will find you can go deeper and deeper into the blow. Just don't think, don't try, follow it back. Find the divine within you, it is revealed through the shofar blowing. Go. Next, we're going to go higher. The root of our souls is neshama, all of Klal Yisrael, where we all become one soul, unite together. And the light of our united, combined soul of every single one of us is revealed. Go higher and deeper to that place now. From the combined energy of all our souls, I want you to see the final Geula, the final revelation, where Hashem is known around all of the world, where all the fear, where all the evil, where all the destructive nature of humanity falls away and melts away in a moment. See it with this incredibly loud roar. Imagine the sound filling all of the world, and everyone turning back to Hashem. Now, go. Moment, tell Hashem right now how much we want that, not as a dream, not as a meditation, as reality. And tell Hashem right now that you're willing to let go of everything you've held on to from this life, another life, every sin, every mistake, every error, everything trapped in your body, in your nefesh, in your ruach, in your emotions, everything trapped in your false beliefs. And we're going to ask when the shofar blows now, loudly, even louder, again and again, that anything we most need to release is going to come to us. We don't have to know what that is. We don't even have to remember what it is from this life and other lives, from early in my life, from later in my life, every sin, every mistake, every block I'm holding on to. You want to do this right now. More than 1,000 years of therapy can happen to you right now. You do not know how to do this. We do not know how to do this with our mind. We are not smart enough. We are not deep enough. Give it up to Hashem. Hashem, you give it to me. Whatever you can't give to me right now, whatever image pops into my head, I'm open to it. I'm ready to it. I'm ready to throw it back to the light, to release it, to wash it away. This is a mikvah. This is Mei Shafir. I'm in the ambiotic fluid. I'm back in the womb, surrounded by Hashem. You ready? Choose and believe right now with all your heart and mind that anything you most need to release, Hashem will show that to you right now. Any block, anger, fear, justification, rationalization, any sin you need to turn around, anything you can't get past, Hashem is going to make the deepest, most core thing come into your mind. Choose and believe. Are you ready for this? If you're ready, say yes. No, if you're really ready in the count of three, you say with all your heart and soul, you want to choose is going to come to you, and that will and that expression is allowing it to be drawn into you. If you're ready for this and you can hold it and receive it, say yes. Yes. Here we go. Release it into the light. Release it into the light. And take up anything else you need from yourself. Ask for another thing, or anyone else in the room, or anyone else in your life. Let it come to you. You can heal the room, you can heal them. You ready? Go. Choose and believe it will come to you now. Let it dissipate. return to peace. If you're able to release a little, something came up a little, you have to let it go. Say yes now. Beautiful. The last step. We're tired. We've come so far. It's late. Now's the final moment to give our all. The end of the marathon. We're out of energy. Now's the time to give it all. When you think you have nothing left to give, then you get to give something which is more than what you are, more than who you are. All your life you haven't seen the revelation. All your life you haven't been blessed to know the truth. And you've tried and you failed and you struggle and you succeed and you fall down and you get up. If you knew it was all good, if you saw it was all good, if you knew it was all love, you wouldn't be depleted, frustrated, bitter anymore, pained anymore. Because you'd seen every moment was a gift, and every moment was light, every moment was truth. From that biggest pain you had, the biggest challenge you had, what was the gift that it gave you? What did it teach you? What did it show you? Don't you see that itself as a revelation? Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Elokeinu Adonai Echad. Adonai means Hayo HaVaveya, the infinite light, Elokeinu, all the way down to the details, the pratim, the pain, the struggle. That is also the infinite Hashem Echad and one. And if you know that everything is Hashem Lavadai, if you know Kol Echad 6868, then you have Chaim, then you are alive. When the shofar blows, we are given life. When the shofar blows, we give our life. What's the holiest thing you can do with your life when Hashem gives you infinite light? What's the holiest thing you can do in your life? It's give it back to Him. Give it all back to Him. Everything I give back to Him. I know it's hard. I feel that fear in my body. I know I feel burnt out. I feel I've given that enough. I feel I got smashed with walls and challenges. So let me see the goodness in them. If I could see the goodness, let me feel the goodness. Let me be healed. Let me know that goodness. I want to give it back. I want to give it back. And I give it back by seeing the good, by knowing the good. In a minute from now and not before, we're going to bring up our fears, our doubts, our pain, our confusion, our love, our hopes, our joys. Epic holy love. And it was 30 seconds of bringing it up. And when the shofar blows and the light is given, we're going to be Makabel Ol Malchus Shemayim. With all the domim, Smeach, Chaim, Megdaba, the animal, the vegetable, the mineral within us. We're going to give it all back to Hashem, all the light. We're going to scream with our hands over our eyes. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Don't scream with your voice, scream with your heart. You have to whisper, that's fine. You're not showing off, you're not making a dramatic moment, a group moment. I want you to commit in your heart. You know your blocks, you know your failings. I want you to commit in your heart when you say these words, you're never going back again. Yeah, but I always fall back again. That's not the point. Now the point is that you can commit, you can give it over, you can dedicate, you can rededicate, you can have ultimate integrity. To say, Hashem, I don't know if I can do this, but I'm throwing it all to you right now with the ultimate will, with the ultimate passion. You can teach me to do it, you can be open up, you can heal these wounds, you can heal these wounds, you can bring back the light. But I give it to you in your hands now. Show me this one, let me know that it's one, let me know that it's good. Are you ready? Are you ready? Can you give yourself over? How many years have you been alive? How many years have you struggled? How many years have you been stuck? How many years have you justified, rationalized? Can you see the truth and oneness? Can you connect to everyone in this room right now? So when you say Shema, you can connect them and lift them up. Can you connect to everyone else in Yerushalayim? So when you say Shema, you're going to say Shema for all of Yerushalayim, every single person. Can you say Shema for all of Eretz Yisrael, for all of Am Yisrael? Can you say Shema for every individual? Can you lift us up to the light, own it, declare it, commit to it, Know it. 30 seconds, bring up your fear and doubt. And when the shofar sounds, scream it with your heart. Hands on your eyes. And then hold it and feel it and fall into that light. 30 seconds, my friends. Go. Bring up your resistance. That's what we're going to show back to the light now. That's what we're going to take back to the light. Are you ready? Shema! Your soul to take you home. Whatever you need to pray for. You're alone with Hashem now, you're in private, intimate space. Enough with the guidance. Guide yourself home. Okay. Wiggle your fingers and toes if you need to. If you're brave and courageous enough, you can open your eyes and come back to this 2018 kind of world. around the room a little. I dare you to make eye contact with people in the room. You've just made soul contact and eye contact. Just turn around a little. And just think thank you to these strangers. Go on, I dare you, 2 more people that you feel awkward about looking at. You're going to find the love within you now. When are you going to find it? Hands up if that was an interesting experience for you. Hands up if that was an amazing experience for you. Hands up if you felt deeply connected in some way there. Hands up if when you called on a tzaddik or tzaddikus, their soul actually came to you. Okay, that's pretty weird. You too ever posted? I'm telling your friends, wow, that's... Hands up if you felt you received some message or insight or blessing from them. You're all weird, let me tell you something. Hands up if you felt you were able to connect to the animals or the minerals or people around the world. Hands up when you said your name and spoke out your issue, you felt healing or light or something coming from the group. Look at all these hands. Look at the power that we have. Look at the gifts that we have. Look at what our tradition teaches us. Does anyone feel so full of light and love and crazy stuff they just need to stand up and say a little of what happened to them? And then there was one brave man in the room. Come up here. What's your name, sir? Yeshua. Come stand right here. Take the microphone. Keep it brief, but we'd love to hear a little what happened.
So I've tried this before. Last time I didn't get as high as I did this time. I felt Aaron Cohen coming to me, giving me a message of peace and forgiveness and tranquility. And it was a very powerful moment for me.
You deserve it. You know what the proof is? You got it. Thank you for sharing. A round of applause for Aaron Cohen, who took the time and energy. Anyone else care to raise a hand and share? Eli or Shofar, blow a round of applause for Eli blowing out his soul. Come over here.
I just got back like 48 hours ago from spending 2 weeks in the ICU with my dad. He's still there. And I didn't know who to call. And for some reason, Nachum Ish Gamzu came. And he just said to me that Gamzu L'Tova. So whatever it is, B'ezrat Hashem, it will be good. I'm going into this Rosh Hashanah that Gamzu L'Tova. And that's, I think, the light that came to me today.
Let's just add to that light. I'm serious when I say, could everyone sit up straight in the chair, uncross your arms and legs and close your eyes. Chaim Shimon Akoyan Ben Miriam. That's Eli's father in ICU right now. You know what's happening to him there? Close your eyes and ask Hashem and you'll know. Draw in a little of that pain. Hold it and turn it back to the light. You can hold it. You'll be clean and healthy. Eli's tears are opening up those channels for us now. Choose more light and more healing. More blessing for the soul. Hold in mind the whole family, what that must be like for the whole family. How much love and respect there is there. At the very least, may he know that he's loved. May he know the good in his life and the blessing in his life. May that bring tremendous Yeshua for him and the family. What if I told you your thoughts right now have a physical effect in the tangible world, and that is the core of Torah and Judaism? Last person care to share? Last person care to share? A few hands in the room, hands up high if you're one of the last people that care to share. Could have passed on Sarah because she's been here before. Come forward. Yes, Tam. With a Y.
Okay, I'll try to keep it really brief. My Jewish journey started with somebody who was very influential in my life. It was a madricha. I was very young, and she passed away in an accident very suddenly. And I made Aliyah not too long ago, and the journey kind of closed when I went for a Shabbos dinner with a friend who I hadn't seen in a while, and he was very close to the family, and I hadn't told him the story. It had taken many years, and I told him the story, and he kind of disappeared and came back to the table with this Madracha's Siddur. So he gave me this book, and I opened the book, and her name was in it, and it kind of closed the journey for me and solidified why I'm here in Israel. And she obviously came to me during the meditation.
What was that like?
It was like a waterfall, like a relief washing over, just knowing that you're doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing. There's a lot to say, and we're not going to say it. Because all the good things, like the Kol Pashat of the Shofar, are beyond expression. But if that's what preparations for Rosh Hashanah are about, imagine what Rosh Hashanah is about. But more than a high, more than a leaving the body and magic and cool feelings, I want you to hold on to the skill set. You can count to 10. You can connect to the Tzaddikim in the world. You can draw on the energy of the group. You can connect to all the different things in the world and shed light to them, and you connect to those things within you and heal them within you, therefore healing the world. You can draw in names of individuals and people you know and give them that light. You can relax your body. You can relinquish the need to have a spiritual experience, and therefore the bitterness that when you think you don't have it, and therefore the calmness that to step into it. You can give yourself over to your higher self, showing the shofar blowing. You can connect to the shorosh of all of Am Yisrael and Klal Yisrael, the Shekhinah during the shofar blowing. You can choose for all the things you most need to do tikkunim on, to heal, to fix all the problems you've caused and the damage you've done, to come to you and heal them during shofar blowing. You can say Shema with all your heart, with all your soul, 1,000 times and not stop and never come down. If you can't make it work, give it to someone else, let it work for them. I hope you appreciate how unique what it is we did tonight, how beautiful, how special. I hope you appreciate it wasn't me, it was the kibbutz, the gathering of your faith that did that. That's the secret. You all came together, you wanted it, and you empowered each other. I hope you appreciate that these things are from your tradition and your heritage, full of chassidus, full of Musa, full of chazal. It's so amazing, your heritage. If you want to learn more of this stuff, elevationproject.com. I'm not promoting you, but I just don't want us to come down from this experience. I want you to keep learning it, keep growing in it, and keep doing this. I thank you for coming with an open heart and an open soul. I hope you'll share the love with people on the way out. May this year be a year of shefa, bracha, hatzlacha, and ruchnis and gashmis, tremendous breakthroughs, tremendous healing, tremendous joy. Thank you so much to the Postins and Yiboneh for hosting us here tonight, making this happen. A round of applause. The stupider it is, the time comes by together. May that blessing in being alive. Tremendous blessing, and thank you to my soul brothers, the holy musicians. And then upon Michael and Tzvi. I swoon constantly through the meditation every time you guys go up a chord and down a chord. It's truly divine. I hope we get to do this a lot together over the years. It's stunning, 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 gorgeous what you do, and thank you. It's so much neshama you bring to it. The power of the prophets to access prophecy was through musicians, but the Tzaddikim will say it was the intent of the musician that played into the music that would open up the people's consciousness. There's a reason we work with these three. They're pretty good musically. But their intent is Kadosh Kadosh. And that's part of the meditation. May you have love and acceptance with yourself in Rosh Hashanah. And I look forward to elevating the will with you again sometime soon, B'ezrat Hashem. Thank you so much.
One second, everybody. Okay, once again, I want to thank everybody. With all the love that's in the room, we would really love if you could all help stack the chairs and put them to my left of the room. That means over in that section. It would really be a great help. And we want to thank you all. And by the way, I forgot to mention, but you can pick up a flyer on the way out. We sell Arbat and Minim. You would really be helping support Yiboneh. And they're really good quality stuff. And we wish everyone a Chag Sameach and a Happy New Year. The other minion in the other room.
Upload it in HD.
No, I'm going to finish.